Hello everyone, welcome to my Let's Play of Home, a unique horror adventure by Benjamin Rivers. I feel like I'm reading the title of a book when I say that. I feel like this is like an audiobook when I speak it like that. Anyway, because that's what it shows on the screen as you can see. But anyway, I bought this game on a flash sale. I want to say when it was, I want to say 3 something, and I seen it like even for like $1 in the flash sale, so I paid a little bit more than that. This is a really short game, so I'm not really knowing what I'm expecting here. I seen a very little of it play, and from what I can remember, it did have a little bit of a creepiness to it, and I always wanted to see how it played out. But yeah, so here I am. I have the game, bought it since 2015, and I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna play it all to the end, but I'm probably not gonna have any commentary on it. You know what? I will. Heck it. It is kind of late. It's 2:44 a.m. in the morning, and I went to see how long it takes to beat this, and this is an hour. So I'm gonna probably be done by an hour to 2 hours, unless I can't figure something out. But anyway, let's get this started. Your game will be saved automatically at certain points. I would recommend you put aside an hour and a half and play home in a single setting. Turn off the lights, turn up this. Yeah. Yeah. That's not happening. I'm sorry. But other people were actually asleep in the house. If it wasn't for that, I would turn up the sound. All I remembered at that point was finding myself alone. Oh, my head. Where was I? It was so dark. There was something by my feet. A flashlight. Oh, okay. That house. Where was I? Stuck on vibrating. You hear that? Anyway. I want to go back and check some out here. No. I want to... Okay. I wanted to examine the blood on the floor, but apparently I cannot do that. Okay. There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? That is one huge dildo. Can't believe that actually made me jump. So we'll pretend that didn't happen. The desk had a computer and some papers on it, and a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but did I open the drawer? Yes. Receipts, pens, and the blurry photo looked like a store of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? Blood on the wall. It smelled fresh, sickening. I realized that there was blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man, I had to get out of here. There. Knowing this game, we'll probably have jump scares. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that, what do you call it there, thing leaking. Before I go downstairs, I want to check one final thing. Oh, and by the way... Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, after I opened up that door and walked in, I was like, wait a minute, is that body gone? Nope, the body's right there. So, yeah. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg? I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. Shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs, try to find a way out. The shelf was full of books, local history and hunting. It seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. I'll go this way. And there's downstairs. The thin gray mouse was stuck in a trap. It looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Yes. That son of a bitch never even thanked me. Anyway. It's not like it's Mickey Mouse or anything. Hey, look, another dildo. We got a rake, and we got a shovel. Apparently I can click on them. Collection of rusty tools. These look like they'd seen a lot of use and were caked in damp smelling dirt. Why were they in a shed? I got a feeling that's me. Found a picture of a couple. It looked like it'd been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Did I push the switch? Nope, not yet. Don't want to mess around with everybody's stuff. Why not? It depressed smoothly into the wall. Heard a faraway click somewhere. The man in the photo is now looking down. And I mean like his eyes, like his head's like tilted down. Even if you picked it up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking into it. Maybe that's how physics works. I don't know. Whatever. Nope. I wonder. Oh, hello. There were scribbles of all kinds on random scraps of paper and notes about some kind of water tower. Did he mean the one by the old train yard? Maybe. But who knows? Okay. Controller just rumbled for some reason, but, okay. It looks like my hand is like a flashlight. A black and white photo looked like the man upstairs and his wife. I guess there was no reason for me to keep this. What? There was no reason for me to keep this? You never even had it on you. It was always on the floor. But yeah, I took it, I guess. I slipped a photo in my pocket. Maybe this would help me find some answers. Sure, why not? An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. Hold on. How long has it been around here? Man, that doesn't look like he's been dead a long time. Apparently the smell of beer makes this man nauseous. I'm gonna have to revoke his man card. Well, I guess the smell of beer can be a little upsetting to some people. I looked like hell. Seems legit. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. It's because you probably... My guess is you buried a body and you just don't realize it. The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. Okay. Let's go this way. That. Okay. I didn't do anything that time. I just walked by this dildo thing here, and my controller just started rumbling. What the fuck? Okay, let's see. Why is this boarded up? The door was taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guess it led to the kitchen. I gave the door a hard shove, and to my surprise, it cracked open. Cause and effect. Bronze trophy achieved. That looked like... sort of looked like a piece of cheese. I'm guessing the other thing was a mouse trap, where I let the mouse up there out, because there's a whole hole right there. So anyway, there were sheets of paper all over the kitchen table. It looked like a series of names were written down, but they were too smudged to read. I could only make out a few of the notes. Key card, Ocker. Last one, I promise. It didn't make much sense at the time. What else? Moldy food was dizzying. Moldy food? Okay. Try the door at the end here. Not yet. I don't want to go down there. Not yet. I've been sleepwalking again. Was that how I got to that house? Yeah. Something tells me you buried a body. I mean, you're covered in mud and you have blood on you. Anyway. Bathroom was spotless. Everything had been wiped to a sheen. That's where a murder happened. On and out. Because why else would you clean a bathroom thoroughly? Besides being a clean freak. And the rest of the house isn't that clean. So, just putting that out there. I wondered if it was the man's wife who did the cleaning or him. There was a photo of development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. Thought I saw what looked like treetops. Okay. is quite the thing. Alright. The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had been obviously been moved before. Maybe I found a way out. I must have moved it, right? Yes. I heaved the box forward and it finally gave. There was a ladder going down underground. The box was a dank smell rose from the passage. Till I climbed down the ladder? Yes. And while going down, I made some dank memes. Anyway. I said some dank memes. Quoted some dank memes. Anyway. I looked again at the photo I found in the house. The couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. I wonder where the wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Footprints in the dirt looked like more than one kind, and a lot of traffic. The place was obviously used a lot. Okay. Places all over were marked on the old map of town. The industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. That's it? Oh, okay. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in town over the last few years. Wait. There were photos. Photos of our house. The hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, try to find some kind of information. Oh, Rachel, please be okay. I just wanted to rush home. But I had to find a way out first, and I needed to see what else was down there. Oh, okay. I didn't think it would say the exact same thing over and over again, but, you know, it's all good. It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Couldn't believe what I saw. A desk. The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old faded paper covered with what looked like names. Probably murder victims. There were scratched out and illegible notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. Probably a list of people to kill. That's my guess. Roll. Let's see. Heavy. Don't know. Don't know. None of it made sense to me. I was seeing if any of them actually could be the name Rachel. Crudely made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. Soy fumes that still emanated from the cans made me dizzy. It looked like a cage. It was small, but there was something coating the bottom. Something wet. Really? That's it? My voice was getting worse all the time. I knew I had to keep moving. I'll try that door. They looked to be bones, half dug into the ground, and the remains looked old. Faded clothes that stuck up amongst the dirt looked familiar. They looked like the clothes that woman was wearing in the photo I found. Was this the man's wife? Okay, put two to two together. That photo I seen up there where I moved and I hit the switch, that guy had the same hairstyle and color as mine. Now, albeit this is an 8-bit, style game, 8-bit? Do you really call it 8-bit? Anyway, a retro style looking game. They could look alike, but I'm going to bet it is not somebody else, that it is me. And I just have amnesia. And he just doesn't realize it's me. I wonder what I would have found if I had dug deeper. Okay, same thing over and over again apparently. Right. Some kind of homemade rack, slung together with poorly cut wooden rope. It was caked. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? The smell in the room was like old grease and rot. I wasn't getting any close to finding anything useful. Let's see, what's this box? Some kind of old boxes. They look like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remembered thrown out after Rachel and I moved to town. What were they doing here? There. Oh, I was scared before. I was terrified now. Why were these photos of our house there? These clothes. Was that why it was there? Checked my back pocket and realized my wallet was missing. Did I come to that house or did somebody bring me? Something tells me this is your house, bro. Okay, bats. Holy. I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. There was a rope hanging there. Wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Yes. Maybe the rope would make that broken ladder easier to descend. That's exactly what I was thinking. Why is there a... Yeah. I had the rope now. There must have been a new sword somewhere. Yeah, in the room. God damn it. Look at this. That body, though. Can you imagine if you have, like, skeletons in your walls? The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? Yes. I could hear a faint hum, and the smell from before started to get worse. Okay. Right now, my controller is vibrating more than it did before. Just wanted to throw that out there. Apparently, I guess I could still get up. If I really wanted to. Bunch of old newspapers we pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out, danger due to cave in. Oh lordy. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Because, you know, living dangerously. Man, my nose is itchy. Alright. My hands tingled from the burn sliding down that rope. It was lucky I found that. Who knows what would have happened if I had jumped down. Broken bones. Maybe even death, depending on how big the drop was. Anyway, still, it was all I could do, not have rushed out of that awful place. That rack. Those terrible tools. What the hell was going on back there? The metal door groaned as I leaned into it, causing my heart to skip a beat at the sound. As I peered ahead into the dark of the next room, I worried that I should have taken that gun I saw. There was a gun? But me with a gun? Yeah. I didn't know there was a gun. There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. Oh, there was some dirt on my own shoes. Okay. Climb up or keep continuing. Well, in the spirit of keeping on what I've been keeping on doing, I'm gonna go through the door. I could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that? Yeah, that's a little too easy. Obviously. A kitchen knife, covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Yes. Somehow the knife seemed a better idea than the gun in that tunnel. Okay. Controller rumbled again. These doors, though. No, I'm gonna continue going at the end of the tunnel. Wait a minute. Oh, don't tell me this is a puzzle. Oh, man. Oh, man. Don't. No. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyway? I'm gonna go no. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna try those other doors. Wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. Through the dust, I could see the handprints from previous views. We're working these sewers. Okay. What about you? The door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. Right. Okay, well, let's try that ladder back up there. Heck it. There was a rusty ladder sunk into the water, which smelled disgusting. I knew I couldn't climb down that. Maybe I could find a way to drain the pitch of water. Ah! Okay. Okay, I see how everything is now. Alright, but before I figure out what I assume is a puzzle, could be wrong, I'm gonna take this ladder, and I'm gonna see what happens. Disgusting. It was a mess of filthy garbage bags. There were rips and tears in most of the bags, which looked like an old videotape was sticking out. Did I take the tape? Yeah, you never know if I run into a TV. Wasn't sure what I hoped to discover within the tape, but I took it anyway. Oh, to keep digging through this mess. I'm sorry, but that sort of looks like blood down there, and I am going to assume body parts are in that. Just saying. Let's continue. Viewers exit. Okay. So that was locked. This had one valve. second valve. Third valve, fourth valve. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the fourth valve. And I'm going to try the second valve. I don't know if it did anything. Nope. I don't know. Okay. So on the way back, I am going to try valve 1 and 3. Then I'm going to go back and look. If nothing changes, I'm going to turn off 2 and 4, or flip 2 and 4 again. Okay, I just got to rumble. Maybe. See if anything actually happened. Because I did get a rumble when I flipped the fourth one, and that was the first one I did, so... nope. Still filled with water. Ow. Okay, I did the first one. Did 4 and 2, so I need 3. I swear to God. There we go. Yes. Okay, from gallery. Yep. Okay. So 2 and 4 is not the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4 is not the answer. Maybe I gotta do it in a certain order. Yeah. Okay. Come on. Ah, my neck. Alright, let's see. Turn on the water flow as well. Okay. It's a little weird. Yes. Okay. This makes no sense. Okay. 1 and 4 was permanently shut off. No. Actually, yes. Okay. Aha! There we go. Looked like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. There was a small metal key left, floating in a shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? Yes. Because that unlocks the door up top, I bet. I pocketed the small key, but it was so odd-shaped, I had no idea what it might open. Safety posts had definitely been seen better days. How old was this facility? Or that facility? Yeah, dusty, but there it had obviously been wiped off recently. Here. Door's locked. I could see a faint light within. Alright, well, let's climb the ladder then. Let's try this door. There was a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what had happened. Maybe the VHS tape I found could be useful. I found another dead body, a sewer worker. By the wounds all over his face and body, I figured he'd been stabbed repeatedly. There was a key ring sticking out of the man's pocket. Did I take it? Yes. I thought about the knife I had found with some disgust as I carefully picked the key from his pocket. I was almost worried he was going to grab me. I was feeling even more sick from seeing the dead man. I didn't want to get any more blood on my clothes. Telling ya, you're the murderer. Calling it. Calling it now. There was a hint of fresh air here. I must have been near an exit, but I wondered, what did that key I found on the sewer worker do? And what was on the videotape I found? Ah, man. This is killing me. As I slowly climbed the ladder, I felt the knife in my boot and the jolting pain in my leg. I wonder what was on that VHS tape I found, or in that locked room. Should I have gone back to check? As I popped the latch above me, the dang scent of pine trees pushed aside the horrible smell of those sewers. Wait a minute. That made no sense. What? I opened a door to go to another part of outside. That's not even video game logic. This is, I've never seen a video game where you were outside. In order to progress to the other side, you had to open a door. Anyway, just saying. Okay. What is that saying? I almost want to say it looks like it says room. I'm gonna see what these stairs do. Or ladder. Leading up to an ancient water tower. The ladder needed to be extended so I can climb it. Did I extend the ladder? Yes. Popped the latch and brought the ladder down. In a patch of smeared dirt and grass, there was a beat-up old wallet. Thought it was mine. Did I take it? Yes. Folded the wallet and returned it to my back pocket. It looked nicked up somehow and really worn. There weren't any cards or ID in it. Thought I should recover my credit card and driver's license at least. I'll put this up here. Or was somebody else carrying it? On the ground, I could see old woods and down to the entrance to the sewers. Had I come through there before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. Yeah, like that, what do you call it there? The set of eyes in the darkness back there? Alright. Let's go past the creepy eyes that are looking at me. I tried the low key I had pushed out from the murky puddles in the sewers. It fit, and I heaved open the rusty door. Oh, okay. The wind was picking up a bit. The night air had become strangely chilly. Okay. The old train station was quiet as a tomb. The only sound that was that of the increasing wind buffeting the structure, or the decrepit structure. Blah, blah, blah. Can't even speak right today. Go check this way. I'll go left. I'll go to the west side. Alright, let's go. Woo! The ancient ticket booth was falling apart and covered in dust and grime. Stacks of paper lined the counter, faded remains of old scheduled imports. On the papers were newer looking sheets covered in scribbles with illegible notes. Excuse me. Come to think of it, the man in that house had kept some scribbles hidden on his bookshelf, and he had notes on the water tower outside too. I guess he could have been coming here, but why? What was he using this old station for? Something tells me he worked there. Well, then again, from a place that looks like this, looks like it's been abandoned for, well, ages. No, I'm not done here yet. Let's go over here. Whoop. An old map encased the glass hung on the wall. It was the train routes connected to that old station. As I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course, the map I found in those tunnels had similar locations marked, and the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. His notes mentioned the water tower and even this train yard. What was he doing? Coming back here? The sober condition of that boy seemed sad somehow, but also ominous. In the torn opening of that ruined train were heaps of dirt and stale water. At the bottom, I thought I saw a scrap of cloth. As I looked closer, I could see that it was definitely some kind of nylon. Maybe a windbreaker or some other outdoor clothing. There was too much of a mess on the ground to see any kind of footprints, but someone or something had definitely trod a regular path. Oh, that's it? This place. That was a bust. Okay. Hate to say this, but it looks like I'm going to be returning back to the sewers and going back to the, what do I call it? This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on that map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here the sign pointed out various campsites and walk paths within the woods. Into the river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. What? Ah, dang it. Nope. Go back. Okay, so there's two paths. Let's go back to the first one. Trembling during was grass plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see it was my credit card. Wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my credit card? Yes. Pocketed the credit card. Hopefully I could find the driver's license too. Maybe. We'll see. Through the fence I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wondered if I could find my way around. And if there's another... Wait a minute. Oh, lordy. There was a fire pit there. It was still a bit warm, and a few embers still burned at the bottom. Someone else in these woods, what did they abandon their campsite? Two folding camping chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There were a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. Oh god, no. That sucks. Whoever was here left this place in a hurry, but why? Cheap dome tent. It's up two people. I shone my flashlight inside but could see some bedrolls, two backpacks, and a cooler. Oh, right. Oh my god, I kept rooting it again so someone would walk in on me. Isn't that what you want? Alright. So, if I remember, I think I came from this one. So I'll try this. Okay, this is new. No, 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 no. Don't. I want to assume that meant open, but it looks like it says don't dune. Oh no. Oh, the answer is yes, yes. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. Wasn't much in the way of clean water there, but the sink did work. Rusty wooden plank propped up the stall door. It didn't really seem useful. Did I bother to take it? Yes. Sure why, but I took the blink. What happens if I take that other one? Must have been the same accident. Buttons. Next, Kids had been trained to inside line. I couldn't imagine why. Oh, their sight at night, especially in the dark forest. I was relieved at least to finally be out of there. Even now, as I peered through the dense trees, I could see cracks of light in a bit of the land beyond. I must have been getting closer to town, but where exactly was I? Still in the forest, apparently. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly realized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a mechanist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Probably not. See where this leads. Oh, good. Found the body of a security guard just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood from some kind of head wound. Wondered, was this flashlight his? Man. Saw the blunt wound. Please. What the? Dug into the ground, there was a cracked old watch. First my wallet, now this. Did I retrieve my watch? Yes. Watch was useless, but I put it on my wrist anyway. Okay. Let's go inside. Nope, not going upstairs yet. Hello. One of the lockers hung open and its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. Work clothes hadn't been picked through, and there had been photos and notes about the door and spread around. Okay. Oh man. There was a large power box with 5 lights on the parts of the factory, the metal was starting to wear. Cobwebs had cluttered the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. Hose locked tight, seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. Okay. Well, let's go in this door. Oh, never mind. Trunk box and handle repairs. Okay. Then let's go up these stairs. Every part of this plant's muddled and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. The board contained the old clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes too from the guys that worked here. One of them listed Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Norman took over a general store after the factory closed. He, Rachel, and I would get lunch every now and then. Rachel liked him because he seemed more positive despite the setback. I don't think I could say the same about me. Murdered her. Calling it now. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. Try to make this. Locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of the woman taped to the outside, but it was scratched, but the face was unrecognizable. Woman's photo. I knew I had to get back to Ritual, find out what happened. So, yes. Let's if I push it again. Oh, okay. Nothing apparently. There's a looking card slot on the side. Okay. Looks like I need a key card. Boo, ba, doo, boo, boo. Our old brick table, where dust and grime only made seeing the sting more. Like some beer bottles I've been using. The reason I wondered. What's that guard using? This has a break room of his own. Maybe. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented, like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked there. I had ached, and I recall the last time Norman, Rachel, and I had all glimpsed together. Rachel seemed so much more at ease when we all hung out. Oh, give me a power bank, yes. Utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Yes. So I took the hammer. I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. Something tells me that's what I used to kill the security guard. Now I say I killed because I mean, obviously, it seems like that's where the way this game's going. Being useful and productive there in this plant, that was all I ever wanted. When the factory closed, everything got worse. Walker was a complete mess, hidden at the bottom, though it was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yes. So the key card in my pocket. Oh look, another one of these. Okay. If it doesn't work, if it wasn't working the first time, then I did it 2 more times and all the slots were used. Redo it again, it'll work. Another panel that I hope could help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yes. Yes. Here we go. Do, 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 do. Struck with the hammer, the wooden boards came pretty easily after I removed the planks and left the hammer on the floor. That may be a bad idea. Maybe. This was my locker there in the factory. Stink of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. Thought I had taken that picture home when the factory closed. Nothing but bad memories. With a mess of empty booze bottles, I wonder if that man in the house had something to do with this. He sure has a lot of alcohol in this place. Maybe that guard is like, I'm hiding up there. Maybe your character was drunk when all this happened, and that's why he woke up and he's like, whoa, where am I? Yeah, if you get drunk and start killing everybody, I think you had a little too much to drink there, bro. Just, you know, just saying. Key card I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use key card? Yes. I gotta sit in a different position. Oh my god. There was some kind of ventilation hatch here. It looked like a jump in the room below. I heard from as it was, but I couldn't see another option to jump. No. Yeah, I'm going to Are you serious? Alright. Something tells me bad things are gonna happen here. Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. There was a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily, and it was hard to make out. Did I try to read the letter? Yes. Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked like a ballpoint pen. All I couldn't make out was need to. Just don't drinking need Norman. Who was Norman writing to? Yeah, I should have went in through that door. I should have went right downstairs to where those things were. Anyway, I stepped out because something tells me if I went into that room, I probably would have came out from the other side of that wall. Anyway, I stepped out of the factory, glad to be rid of its smell, of its memories. I couldn't stop thinking about that room with the bottles in it. Is that guard I found outside really drinking up there? What about Norman? I knew I'd rooted through all those lockers. Couldn't tell where I was as I looked forward, or around, but I figured I needed to get to a road, get my bearings. Maybe Norman could help. The store wasn't that far from the turn-off of the factory, if I remember correctly. Okay. The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food and slick black bags, which is typical for garbage bins. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Yes. Cleaned the card off as best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card, and now this. I took the card into my wallet next to my credit card. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. Yes, I had entered Norman's place. I thought so. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for the faint sound of a television. Hopefully there's a VHS player there. And in front of the door was locked from the inside. It looked like I couldn't just pop it open. I needed the key. There's a bit of blood on the keyhole. Okay, great. Oh god. Oh no. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my coworker, and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been stabbed or something trying to get up. Norman, you deserve better than this. Did I close his eyes? Yes. Wasn't sure if he wanted to give him peace, or if I couldn't stand to think anymore about what was going on. Quickly, I closed Norman's eyes. The poor bastard. Yeah, exactly. The poor bastard indeed. But before I do anything, oh, fucking TV. TV still flickered some indecipherable channel. Couldn't make out what was on the screen, but that glow gave me the chills. Really? Okay, I was kind of hoping to use a VHS player, but I guess I had to use it back in the house. Alright. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough. But there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. I'd never been in Norman's place before, at least I didn't remember ever doing so. It's because you're blacked out drunk. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Yes. Found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. Stake out containers of food scraps. Looks like Norman was eating for 2. Doubt it. But anyway. Rest in peace, Norman. Ooh. What was this? It looked like a pull chain hanging on the ceiling. I wonder where it led. Did I put the chain? Yes. Gave the chain a single tug and simply flew a ladder to the attic top down. Yeah, I'm not gonna go up there right yet. I am going to go all the way to the right. I'm gonna give it a try. Despite the shock of already finding Norman in the state, seeing this turned my stomach just as much. It was one of Rachel's old fall coats. What was it doing there? Is she okay? Dark stain. The sleeve, my stomach only tightened further. Something tells me my character killed Rachel. Something tells me maybe, and this is based off no information at all, but if her coat was there, she was seeing Norman. There was a well-maintained gun cabinet here in Norman's room. I didn't know much about guns, but it looked like he kept a few hunting rifles. I knew Norman hunted occasionally, but I didn't know him to be such a collector. Something tells me... Let's see where this goes. It was a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Did I open it? Opened up the old cardboard box and wasn't entirely surprised by what I saw. There were more original things. More of my wife's clothes. Photos, shoes, even that old radio I gave her. Why? Rachel, what were you doing here? Norman. Just couldn't believe it. My heart ached with everything that was running through it. Maybe she left my character? Hope that all we're trying to do with that mess. Nice. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. You think I'm going somewhere with Rachel, Norman? Ah. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. What does it matter, Norman? Cheated on your hydro bills, too? Shots fired. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked like it would be in much better shape than the whole postcard, though. Seems to be most popular. There were only a few left. That night continued to take a horrible turn after a horrible turn. It had been weeks since I last seen Norman, but to find him like that? Who could have done that to him? Seeing that dusty box of those old clothes was a shock. How long have they been there? And what was Rachel doing at Norman's place? I felt like I had only discovered more questions, no answers, but I was close to home. It was time to find out the truth. And this is home. I was I turned out to be Oscar the Grouch. The end. Lol. Anyway. 2, 3, 4. 4 doors. I'll go into the first door. Just, slowly making my way back. Okay. First door. It was locked. This wasn't the right gate. Okay. Nope. It was locked. I know it was in my house. Door number 3. Oh, crap. Neighborhood's local post box. Letter was sticking out. Someone pushed it up. Damn. Knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? Yes. No, it was addressed to Norman. There was no return address, but the handwriting looked familiar. Took a deep breath and tore open the package. Norman, I'm sending this to you in a letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, it was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with, but he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out away from you both. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him. Norman, so don't you think you can hold that against me. Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I even want to. But he deserves at least that much. Goodbye. She cheated on me. I knew it. I called it. All along. That whore. I had the wrong gate. This one was locked. So, little FYI. Oh, never mind. Had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through the clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. So yeah. Why do people cheat on each other, honestly? I mean, if you... Oh, I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. If you want to cheat on somebody, why don't you just break up with them and then get with the person that you're having sex with or sleeping with or, whatever. Or just talk to your loved one and see if you can have like a, one of those open relationships. But anyway, the house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged, strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off because we didn't pay our phone bill. The end. Mystery solved. I remember having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? It was clean. I haven't used some time recently. I need to go to some. Oh yeah, this wasn't my house. I'm just breaking into somebody else's house now. There was a small pile of mail on the floor in front of the mail slot. How long have I been away? Why hasn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill. Did I open it? Yes. I ripped the bill open and read. To my surprise, it said something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? Oh, so much for using that credit card there that I picked up a little earlier. Oh, no, I'm going back down, actually. There's a door there, right? Yep. Door to the basement was locked. Where did I put that damn key? Never mind. Back up we go. I'll go what? No, I'm gonna go right. Stuck said there was an old-fashioned key underneath the handle. God damn it. More keys. Keys up to the wazoo here. I found the last missing piece of my wallet. The old photo of Rachel and I stared back at me, reminding me of better times. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyway? Yes. I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I had got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? Because you found out she was cheating on you, bro. Oh, bronze trophy, stolen identity. Okay. Our television. I had purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterward. But by then, it was too late. Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. Oh, that was it. Oh, bummer. Time to go upstairs. Hey, going right. Oh, that's bad luck. Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. Couldn't really make myself out anymore. I wasn't sure I wanted to. If you could make yourself out from a broken mirror, then... Excuse me. Our sink, which needed to be replaced, one of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. That old house was charming for sure, but it wasn't always easy. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. Oh, I know the kind. My Nan actually had one in her old house before she passed away. Seemed impractical at times, but it was part of what made that house home. Yeah, I'll go this way. Why not? My laptop had been left on. The only had a tiny bit of power left on the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Of course you did. Pocketed the key. Laptop was warm. I've been running for a while. Alright, time to go all the way to the far left. The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I look more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books as I did. Maybe because you split up with Rachel and you moved out and that was your house and you woke up there, and that's why you have a picture of you and a female beside you, which was Rachel. That's my guess. One book in particular seemed a bit odd, and I remember owning it, but not that edition. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? Yes. Rachel's suitcase contained clothes, toiletries, and a train ticket. This is... Okay. There was a noise that startled me outside. Anyway, Rachel, okay. Is this what you were going to do with Norman? Rachel, why? Were you really going to run away with Norman? Was I really such a monster? Well, I mean, if you killed all those people, the shoe fits. Wear it, Cinderella. I'm gonna check and see if there's any... Alright. I'm gonna go back into that room, check one more time. Check and see if this place has an attic. Oh, okay. Time to go back downstairs. Which floor was it? I know the basement was locked, but I think it was this floor here that had the locked door. Or was stuck shut, there was no fast game to handle. Okay. Guess this was a key to the basement. I unlocked the basement door. Here we go. There was old-fashioned Christmas decorations in the box. Couldn't even remember last Christmas. Garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was an old key there. Did I take the key? Yes. Small key and try to remember what unlocked the door upstairs, probably. But we'll continue down here. There were old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. We had way too much junk. Ooh, I put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. Dun, dun, dun. Wait a minute. So in here too. Okay, I was kind of wondering if I had to look through that just so I could open up that room by breaking through it or something with the tools. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? It's probably you, bro. There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I take a crowbar? Yes. Love the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. Yeah. Probably because you beat her over the head with it. Actually, I could be wrong. Wait a minute. Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yes. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Is Rachel down there? Is she okay? Don't. Tool? Oh, don't look, I bet. Filthy looking pile of rags have been dumped in the corner. The stench of them is awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I came this far, or I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Yes. Oh no. My hands trembled as I pulled back of the layers of cloth. There at the center, under all the dirt and mess, was my beloved, my Rachel. Her arms were bruised all over and slashed repeatedly. Her clothes were ripped and torn. Even though all that sickening blood, it was obvious she had been stabbed to death. The knife I had carried all this way suddenly seemed like a poison. What had happened? Rachel, who did this to you? Clearly the guy has no clue. I thought about all I had seen and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. When I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly, exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. Bronze trophy, grim discovery. Okay, so what do I do now? This makes no sense. What's this? Maybe I could use some of Rachel's travel books and find some place to go. No matter what, I need some kind of escape. It was my wallet with its contacts intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe it was sleepwalking again, or maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at those places before? Yes. I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. But what does that mean? There, that was decided. Okay. Guess. It's kind of weird, and didn't even actually show you the body. This was the old photos of the other man and his what? Okay, this was the old photo of that other man and his wife, I assumed. I found it in that house. Maybe it's somebody's parents. Hers? Maybe? I recall those faded remains I had found deep underneath his house. What had he done there? Well, what did I think? Was that man involved in this whole mess somehow? Yes, definitely. Those tunnels, the odd tools in his house, and the remains of his wife. He wasn't innocent, that's for sure. But who had killed him? Me? Call me now. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'm not really sure what my goal is here now. So the old-time charm of the claw-footed bathtub, though it seemed like a cold comfort then. It's part of the house. From that grimy glass is only a shadow, a whisper. Quiet in that room unnerved me terribly. It was the keycard I found in the factory, the one that allowed me to slip through that door. It seemed to me that it was probably Norman's, but if it was true, what was he doing back at the plant? Did I think Norman was going back to the factory? Yes. It must have been him. He must have been using the old locker room. Made up my mind. My laptop had finally run out of power. I don't know if it had been enough running. Boo 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 boo. Town. Okay. Let's go over here. See what happens now. It was a letter I had taken from the post box. Rachel, were you really having an affair with Norman? But why? I didn't think things were that bad. In the letter, Rachel seemed concerned. She almost seemed worried of what Norman might do. Did he do that to Rachel? I'm gonna go with no. Norman may have betrayed me, but I didn't think he was capable of that. I hated him. I hated him so much, but I couldn't blame him for what happened to my wife. Still had no idea what was on that tape I found in the garbage. If only I had found a way to watch it. No, I know one way. Stupid things behind this TV. Just thinking about the things that made me sick to grief. Yeah, I should have watched that tape back in the house. Well. My old office safe sat on the floor. I used it to keep tax records and other important documents in it. It used a digital passcode lock, but I didn't have the code. Maybe I left it somewhere. Challenge accepted. Those pretty much lines, but I see where it was getting at. Seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. Neil sat there. He was lying in the basement. Seemed like that Neil there for a while. Something for me here anymore. No reason to stay in that house. Did I leave? Never to return. No. Think about it a bit more. Go back into the basement. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna go here. Maybe no more dinners here. No more chit chat over breakfast. At least not for us. Couldn't recall when I last ate, but I wasn't hungry yet. And went to the lead outside. And basement. If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? Yes. Took the knife and kept it firmly in my hand. Now that I stood there, I realized I couldn't go back into that room again. I had already seen too much. You need to put an end to the situation one way or another. What happens if I leave now? Yes, I left the house forever. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plan had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was what I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. What? Drinking fixes everything, bro. Anyway, but I swear, I had tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I knew she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was the final act of a long-standing horror I'd been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. It was obvious to me that the man I had found in that house had something to do with all this. Could he have killed Rachel? It started to seem that there were too many things I had seen to think otherwise. Now that I thought of it, those sewers were a terrible mystery. What had happened there? I was lucky in my way to find my way out of there. But I never did find out what was on that tape that I now kept. What might it have shown me? I have found the contents of my wallet scattered throughout town. Why the hell had I been out there? Had my sleepwalking gone to some new extreme? I thought that I couldn't account for my whereabouts, but knew I had been to that forest and even Norman's place. Well, it was terrifying. I didn't know what that meant, but at least I had recovered my things. Hopefully, I thought that would cover my tracks, so I wouldn't be blamed for all this. The tangled mess of that horrible forest was an experience I'd never want to repeat. It was clear, at least, that Norman had been going back to the old plant. Maybe he was the one who had boarded up that locker room, who had been drinking up there in that secret hiding place. So he had killed that guard then? He must have. Maybe he was found out, or the guard had caught him on patrol. Damn it, Norman. Why? After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store. But all I had found were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Norman, what were you and Rachel up to? It was obvious that things were complicated. It was obvious things were more complicated than I'd ever imagined. Can't even speak today, I swear to God. How long have you been going behind my back? Or how long had you been going behind my back? More importantly, why, Norman? Whoever had killed Rachel had probably gone after you too. Maybe they knew about what you were up to. I would never know. I would never know peace, Norman. But despite your transgressions, a part of me really did hope that you would. When I had marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would end. And I guess in a way it did. But how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel as disoriented as when I sleepwalked. To think of it now, I guess I should have known from the terrible silence that greeted me when I first stepped into her house and stood there in the kitchen. There was no sound of television, radio, even the air was still. But seeing Rachel there, lying ruined and discarded in the basement, there was a horror I could never imagined. I didn't know if I'd ever find the answers I craved, but I knew that somehow that other man I had found was responsible for this. If not directly, he must have had a hand in Rachel's death. So what was I doing in that damn house of his? Had I found out? Had I killed him? My damn condition made it difficult to know. Memories and time frames were always a mess, and I could never be sure. Knowing that man was dead, though, was cold comfort. My wife was gone, and no matter what happened to me now, I was lost forever. As I swung open the door and stepped out into the air, I caught the scent of wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife. Just the thought of her again, cold, inert, shook me from head to toe. What would I do now? Who could I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was soft and giving beneath my feet, and I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, but rather that I should run. Silver trophy, slipping away. Interesting. So I didn't get the full ending, it seems, because I just chose to carry on. It's a rather interesting game, though, but I think I'm going to play through it again. Home is dedicated to my wife, Nancy. Watch your back. Wow. That was creepy. This game is dedicated to my wife, Nancy. In brackets. Watch your back. ... And then you see a happy smiley face at the end. That's not creepy or anything. Well, this has been Home, a unique horror adventure. Now that I did one playthrough of this as a Let's Play, I think I'm going to make another Let's Play, but I'm going to investigate everything wholeheartedly. Right now it is 4:23 a.m. I'm going to call it a night. But, even though for those who watch this on YouTube, after I get up later on today is when I'm going to do the recording of me playing through this game again. And I'm going to also upload that, and it's going to be the more complete version. So there's going to be two. So it seems like there's going to be different ways for this game to end. So that's kind of cool. So yeah. If you're up to seeing how this game maybe ends in different ways, from being incomplete to more complete. I guess you get to see how it unfolds. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this Let's Play of Home, a unique horror adventure. The incomplete the incomplete playthrough, as I didn't go and check everything and all this stuff and whatever, blah blah blah. Anyway, I'll see you in well, I'm gonna call part 2. I'll see you in part 2 of the Let's Play.